What's up, guys? I'm the washer and dryer guy. I've been repairing and refurbing washers and dryers since 2011. If this video helps you, please like and subscribe. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below and I will answer you. Hey guys, today we're going to talk about GE dryers or Hotpoint dryers. They're made in the same factory. GE owns them now. Pretty much the exact same parts throughout the whole thing. So what we're going to talk about today is the dryer feels like it's getting hot, feels like it's getting the clothes too hot. First thing to check, especially if the top is very, very hot, this is for one reason. That means there's heat coming from around the drum on the inside and getting on top of the panels on the outside. That's usually because it's stopped up somewhere with lint. Lint, or it could be a bent pipe going out of the house for your exhaust pipe, or the flapper for the outside could also have gotten stuck down, or something leaned against it, or someone leaned something against it. But for the most part, it's usually stopped up, and it's usually stopped up inside the machine for these type of dryers. So the first thing we're going to do is take two screws out. There's going to be a Phillips head here and a Phillips head here. So all we need is a Phillips head screwdriver. Alright, now we got these two screws out. The next thing, this makes it a whole lot easier. You can go ahead and lift this up and get it unhooked from right here, but it's much easier if you take the three screws out of the back. There'll be one on this side, one in the center, and one on the side. Alright, now that we got these three screws out, we're going to lean this forward just a little bit. And from right here, it will go over just a little bit. It's got a little latch on each one of these, and they'll come up. Alright, now from right here, we're just going to hang this a little bit on the back, and the top's going to come forward, and we're off. Like I said before, you can just take these screws out, but there's these little hooks, and you have to be very careful not to break them off if you do it that way. It's just a lot faster and a lot safer if you take those three screws out first. Alright, from right here, there's a Phillips / you could also use a 1/4" driver right here, and a Phillips / 1/4" driver right here. Sometimes it'll just be Phillips. Only occasionally do I see them. Actually, this time it is. The newer machines will also have 1/4" drives, so you could use either. But for the most part, just use your Phillips screwdriver. Alright, now that we've got these screws out, I'll let this one in just a little bit to hold it here. You're going to lean it slightly forward, and you're going to lift one side, and sometimes there'll be a keeper right in the center that's kind of hard to get past in the bottom. There it is. And then the other side's on a hook as well, and I'll show you those hooks real quick. If you bring it to one side and gently lean it over, you can undo these two wires without having to mark them. If you just kind of remember which one goes where, it's for the lid switch. Okay, now we got the wires off, and the wires could be two different ways. If it has a light, there'll be a third wire. If it doesn't have a light, it's just a lid switch that's hooked on right here. It's just opening and shutting for the door. So just double check which way your wires are going on there. You can mark them, make it easy for you. Alright, from right here, the lint will usually be blocked up right here. And to clean this out, take off the filter, and if you're outside, you can get an air compressor and just blow this out. Otherwise, it's going to be kind of difficult. You're going to have to reach in here and get all this out. You can get out some by hand. The easiest way is air compressor, or take it outside and get a water hose and you can spray it out real well. Just make sure it's real dry before you put it back out in the machine. Let it sit out in the sun for a little while. After you get all the lint out of there, sometimes the fan will get caked in lint. You'll see the blades will have lint all over them. Alright, so from right here, the next spot to clean out is the dryer drum on the back side. Will collect lint, and the only way to get it out is by taking the drum out. If you attempt to take a air compressor and blow it out the back, it will land on the heating element and will catch fire. I actually have seen that before, where someone tried to clean out the lint from the inside and blew onto the heating element and actually caught. So from right now, we need to take the belt off. So from here to take the belt off, you're going to reach through this hole and this hole. And I'm just going to undo it real quick. Actually, I've already got it undone. And I'm going to show you what it looks like under the drum because you wouldn't be able to see otherwise. So what we got is an idler pulley here and the motor right here. You don't want to accidentally, when you go to put this back on, put it on the wrong part of the pulley and put it on the back part of this neck right here. Make sure you're in these grooves. Alright, so let's pretend like the drum is sitting right here. Normally you'd be reaching through a spot right here and right here. And what I do, because you don't have a whole lot of room, is I'll reach in my hand and I'll unhook it from the motor right there. And then the drum will easily come right off with the belt. Alright, so this is going to be hard to see, but this stainless steel ring all around the right on the edge of it, all the way around in this one, there's lint that builds up on the edge. And some people will unscrew this. It's a lot of trouble. You don't have to do all that. And you know, you'd unhook this, and you'd have to have two people, one holding this in place, one putting the screws on their side. If you have an air compressor, you can take the air compressor and stick it in each hole and blow out the lint. It's just sitting in this trap right here. It's very thin, and this is what catches on fire. This is very much so a major part of the fire problem with GE dryers, is this horrible design where lint, really fine thin lint, builds up in this. I've seen it built up so much that it's poking out these holes. It's only breathing through a few holes in the whole thing, and that's a good reason our dryer will be overheating. Alright, what I like to do is point it at about a 45-degree angle, hit it, and then whatever comes out, start plucking out of the thing. Move to your next hole, hit it, move to your next hole, hit it, next hole, and keep going around, and it'll keep popping out. At the very end, you'll be able to flip this drum over. This will take just a second. I'm gonna go all the way around, and you take a flashlight and look down through here and make sure all the lint is gone. It is not gone yet. There's a good bit here, but you can see where I started. It's starting to disappear. Alright, so we cleaned out the back part of the drum. We've cleaned out the fan itself. And this is the other one I told you had to clean out. You could do this also with the air compressor going through here. Make sure you have the filter off so you don't poke a hole through it or anything. And clean out this whole trap. The last thing to check and clean out is going to be from the fan out. So this pipe, you can just kind of lean the dryer forward a little bit, look through the pipe. A lot of times that won't be blocked up that bad at all. The biggest part is if this is blocked up, the airflow is a lot lower and it's dropping lint before it normally would. Normally if it's a lot of airflow, it will push it all the way out of your house and outside. If it's low airflow, it's going to be dropping it in the pipes on the way outside. So check your exhaust pipe from the back of the dryer to the wall, and from the wall to the outside, and then check the little flippers. Sometimes there'll be a little triple flipper to keep mice and rodents from coming in the house, and those will be gummed up with lint, and sometimes they'll just be stuck down. So check those. That should be all the lint. While you're right here, there's a couple things you could check. You can put a little bit of white lithium grease, not very much, right there. That would help a little bit of a squeak. You can check these pads. There's one here, 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 and here. Sometimes it'll just be a 3-pad system. There won't be a spot for a 3rd pad, but if these pads are missing or it's wearing past the pad and into this, you can replace this whole part real easily. But you're already right here. And from here, we're just going to do everything in reverse order to put it back together. And I'm just going to go ahead and do it real quick. Alright, from here I'm going to take the belt and put it like so. Make sure the grooves are facing down. Get it into this slot. Get the belt past this point. If you lift up on it a little bit here, it's a little easier. Alright, make sure your belt is on straight, so slowly turn it. Make sure the grooves are facing down. and you'll be able to see where the belt was sitting before. From here, this is what I was showing y'all earlier. It's not going to be a way to show this while I'm doing it. I'm going to reach in here, put it behind the idler pulley, push the idler pulley down a little. Hooked it. Alright. And now you're going to hook back up your lid switch, however it was hooked up. I'm just going to leave this unhooked for just a moment while we do this. However you hooked up your lid switch before, just rehook it back up. I'm going to put it back in the 2 grooves, one on one side, one on the other, and you'll feel it fall into place. I'll lift up. Make sure both sides are lined up real nice. Make sure the drum turns real easily and it hasn't popped off track. Alright, and from right here, we'll take our 2 screws. I'll put one here. I'll put the other one there. And I'm just going to temporary because I got to take all this back apart to clean it back out. I'm going to put this back on. It's going to go into a groove right here, underneath there, from here to here. So it's going to slide in like that. And the same thing here, it'll go down and it'll go slightly over. So I'm going down and slightly over. I'll put this down. I'll put the 3 screws back in here. And finally, I'll put the 2 screws. I'll open the door. No, not falling apart. Open the door, I'll put the last 2 screws in here and I'll put the filter back in. And then we are done. I'm going to take this all back apart and actually clean everything. But thanks for watching, guys. Please like, subscribe. It really helps the channel. If you have any questions, please put them down below.